Hi there, Courtney Robinson here, and I'm here today to talk about money and yoga and what yoga has to say about lifestyle. And I wrote a paper for this, and I'm going to read the paper to you and talk about it as I read it. So if you like this content, please like and subscribe. Mainly, I talk about my work as a yoga therapist. I've been a yoga therapist for 20 years. I've been a yoga practitioner for double that. I am almost 50 years old. I started when I was a child with postures and meditation as a teenager. And I've done it my whole life almost. So it is with great honor that I could take my hobby and passion. I have been volunteering my time for 13 years, vlogging, teaching voluntary simplicity and other similar classes in the community, obviously before COVID-19, on how to live this lifestyle of financial independence. And I myself have gone through that transition as a divorced single mom to someone who has a pretty nice little net worth at the age of 50 and was hoping to retire at the age of 55 or be able to. Work optional is what I call it. I have a great job. I probably won't leave it, but at least I will be able to if something happened. So let's talk about yoga and money, and I hope that you will like this, and I hope that this will talk to some younger people because I know that a lot of younger people are doing yoga now, and I know that a lot of people have confusion about what yoga is and what yoga isn't. So let's get into that. In recent years, I've intentionally pulled back from the Western world of yoga to escape what happens anytime Westerners get a hold of something new to them and exciting. They brand it and they begin to market the heck out of it. Social media in this new age of overeducated and inexperienced world of new followers and teachers, and you have a mix of something that quite frankly has lost its way. Most people these days have no idea what yoga is or yoga is not. Before you stop reading this and think to yourself, man, this woman is jaded, stay with me. When I was asked, does yoga have anything to say about how we manage our money, I was over the moon. I've been trying to talk about this for years as a yoga therapist and personal finance blogger and vlogger. Yoga has everything to say about this because yoga has something to say about how we live our lives on a daily basis. A yogi is not someone who simply practices on a mat in a cute pair of the newest yoga pants. A yogi is a person who lives a life by a particular set of guidelines and practices. From my studies, which include writing several books and 2 decades of teaching and double that in practice, I see yoga as a lifestyle, a means to a simpler, less complicated life. A life of less suffering by my own thoughts and subsequent actions, and a skill set or guide that helps me navigate troubles when they come. All right, gotta take a breath, y'all. And many think of yoga as a set of postures, breathing practices, and meditation. While this is part of the practice, which is a means to change patterns in the mind and the body and offer optimal health and well-being, it's only a small portion. In the West, yoga is often portrayed in marketing as a Caucasian woman, usually, right, in tight leggings and a bra top or a flowy pair of harem pants, moving to Indian flute music while moving from one posture to the next in a cloud of incense while breathing very loudly. It's almost become a joke. Not the case. That is simply a stereotype. While you might be able to find that in a yoga studio, the truth is yoga is so much more than that. Yoga is an 8-limb system that integrates your mind and your body. Yoga means to yoke, to come together. Your thoughts, your brain, your mind create your actions, what you say, what you do with your hands, what you do with your feet, how you talk, the decisions you make. You are not your thoughts. I can think about brown bears and red doors, and I'm not a brown bear or a red door. But I can control my thoughts, and those very thoughts can lead to action or inaction. So, those thoughts and actions determine the likely outcome of your life to a large extent. Starting to see how thoughts control your financial life, the practice of noticing your thoughts can change your life in so many ways. We can make choices to do something or give excuses why we shouldn't do it. So let's look at the 8-limb system of yoga. These were taught in this order or importance. Note, this is a practice. One does not have to be perfect, but one should practice these in life to truly be living the life of a yogi. Remember, it's practice. It means you will fall down. Things will get lumpy and bumpy. But you go back to the guidelines and you say, how can I use this issue? My physical health, spirituality, my financial health, my mental or emotional health. How can it be optimized with this practice, this 8-limb practice? So first in yoga, the first of the 8 limbs, and I'm not going to go through them in depth, is the yamas, which are moral observances. The second is the niyamas, which are internal behaviors. Third is postures, and they are to be learned in order. So right there you see. Fourth is the breath work, and 5 through 8 talk about practices for meditation. We're going to be focusing on the yamas today, and I'm going to wrap this up pretty quickly. But the yamas, or moral observances, include non-harming, money can harm or not harm, truthfulness or benevolence, non-stealing and responsibility, unity, simplicity, and generosity. And I did not give the Sanskrits for those yogis out there, the Sanskrit words. The niyamas, or internal behaviors, include clarity or purity, contentment, discipline or sacrifice for oneself and others, self-study, and surrender to something bigger than oneself, like the God of your understanding or a higher power. Postures are 3, breathwork is 4, and 5 through 8 encompass meditation and learning to focus. All can be helpful in your thoughts and your actions and the way you live your life. Because if one part is broken, all the parts then become wobbly. It's like 4 legs on a chair. If you break one leg, the other 4 are going to wobble. So we need to have stability in all areas of our life to the best of our ability. So quickly one can see the connection of how we live our lives, especially around money. Money is a necessary part of life. Money can do harm or money can do good. It's not the money itself, it's how we think about money and what we do with it that matters. Therein lies intention around money. When we follow these steps that were created to reduce suffering, we will in fact reduce our own suffering, those we love and those who we may meet or never meet, as we reduce our impact on the world. For the purpose of this, let's take a look at the yamas. To do no harm, we use money for good in the world. This can include planning for our future, not to be a burden on our family, or it could mean not spending money on overconsumption that harms our environment by creating more waste. Truthfulness and benevolence would be honestly looking at your situation and asking, can you really afford that next widget you want? Can you be caring and loving to others if you're maxed out on your credit cards and struggling each day to survive? An example would be that if I go out and I buy a brand new car, I may need to work more, which would rob me of time spent with my family or caring for a sick family member. Non-stealing and responsibility could mean that you don't steal from your future self to give your present self that expensive vacation you can't really afford, then put it on a credit card and it steals your future away. Responsibility is also each of us learning the basics of personal finance management, not leaving it up to one person in a relationship, but sharing that responsibility so that we don't put too much pressure on one family member to shoulder that burden. We all have to be responsible for ourselves and not expect others to bail us out in the future because we did not do what they did, which may be planning for their future by living responsibly. This can also be a form of stealing. Unity may mean using our current money to bring people together. Maybe we have a potluck, but it can also mean saving and investing so we don't rob ourselves of our future with our children or spouse by having so much debt. Being debt-free, having an emergency fund, knowing that you're contributing to retirement will allow you to be together more, creating unity in the home, and I'd like to say more peace. Simplicity and generosity, by living within our means, we often find it more satisfying. We become resourceful and we take more time to be together. We put less strain on our planet and fellow man. A simple life that provides for our needs and reasonable and affordable wants after responsibilities are covered can help us have a better now. And I would like to say with generosity, also giving a portion to those in need, even if it's $5 a month, that we can also give of our time if we don't have the money. And sometimes that resource is just as valuable or more so. I could go on about each limb and give examples. For instance, in the niyamas, you see the example of sacrifice. We must sacrifice some wants now to take care of our future self tomorrow. I hope that you can see the lessons in the yamas or moral observances as these are written as a guiding light. The observances and practices reduce your suffering. They bring clarity and can be applied to many areas of your life. I also would like to add this one last thought. Often in the world of yoga, money is a taboo topic because many falsely believe that yoga, postures, breathwork, and meditation were taught for free, and that is not so. People often traded services or goods like potatoes or bags of onions for these teachings. We live in a world where there is an exchange for currency that goes both ways. It's not one or the other. Taking time now to save for your future for investing, having your emergency fund, living simply will buy you that same comfort in your future and peace of mind in your present. I hope that this has also enlightened you to what yoga is and isn't a little bit more, especially the fact that it's not simply postures or breathing or meditation, but all of these things come together as a whole to create a whole person who is physically, spiritually, mentally, emotionally, and financially healthy. All right. Thank you all so much, Courtney Robinson, and thanks a bunch. Thumbs up if you like this material. Have fun. Have a good day, I should say. I don't know what I'm saying. Have a great day, y'all. Bye-bye.